Cool. I'm gonna let everyone in. Hello, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, depending on where you're calling in from. We have Jenks here from Filecoin, who's going to be doing his second workshop of the day, the Filecoin Storage Provider Overview. I know some of you just joined from the last one, but happy to see you here and some new faces for the second one of the day. And with that being said, if you have any questions, they can go into the Zoom chat and Jenks will be more than happy to answer them. And yeah, Jenks, feel free to take the mic from here.
Thank you, Anna. Hi, everyone. Hello again. For those who haven't had enough of me, I'm here to talk about Filecoin storage providing. So I'm a developer advocate from Filecoin Foundation. I wear many hats within Filecoin ecosystem. So the working group between Protocol Labs and Filecoin Foundation. One of the things that I do, because I can speak Mandarin, is I interact with a lot of storage providers that are primarily based in Asia, and they represent a lot of storage power in the network. So over time, I have accumulated quite a bit of knowledge on storage providing business. But the disclaimer is I have never done storage providing in Filecoin before, because it kind of requires quite a bit of investment upfront. If you're trying to run a profitable business, it requires a large capital upfront, a lot of staking, and also a lot of expertise in running storage in IT business in general. So if you're small time trying to do it for hobby, you can do it, and it's fun, I think, for people that are interested in general Linux and maintaining server infrastructure. But it is time consuming. So for these reasons, I've been doing my main job and not storage providing. So I'm going to go over storage providing in high level, and I want this presentation or workshop to be more interactive. So feel free to ask me if you have any questions about Filecoin storage providing. I'll go along and very quickly, and I will leave for probably 10 to 15 minutes for answering questions. So first thing first, the missions. The missions of Protocol Labs and Filecoin Foundation are slightly different, but working towards the same goal in some area. So you can see Protocol Labs offer a really large Venn diagram, large circle on the Venn diagram, and Filecoin Foundation overlaps with it, but a much smaller diagram circle there. So Protocol Labs is an open source R&D lab building protocols, tools, and services to improve the internet. Now, internet is a huge thing. The current internet had about maybe many decades to perfect itself, but to build the next generation of internet, you need quite a bit of innovation in this space. Some of those things are protocol development, which Protocol Labs engineers are working on it. They're also working on random number generators, best in business DRAM. They're also working on things like ZK, general programming language, LERC. All things gets funded by Protocol Labs and gets resourced by Protocol Labs to happen. IPFS is one of their most famous creations. So IPFS is a peer-to-peer protocol that makes web upgradable, resilient, and more open. Think of it as a peer-to-peer version of HTTP. Just protocol itself doesn't make any money or doesn't have a business model behind it. So that's why Filecoin Network was created. Filecoin Network was created to encourage people contributing hardware resources to provide data center services. It is a decentralized storage network to store humanity's most important information. Think of it as a Airbnb for a data storage. So if you mention Airbnb, there is a business model behind it. So it could be profitable for a lot of people to join. But if you think HTTP, no one makes money off it. It's just the standard. Filecoin Foundation is not the owner of Filecoin Network. It doesn't own everything of the project. The project is owned by the community, but Filecoin Foundation is a steward of the Filecoin community, acting as the leader of the community to help people to work towards that goal. The goal is to power humanity's most important information and then give them back to the hands of everyone. So this ties into how Web3 breaks down ownership and give individuals ownership of their data, and being able to combat the rise of the power and misuse of centralized technology, such as big cloud platforms, and then big platform companies, social media companies, etc. So there are just too many things that Protocol Labs is building, but in general, they're trying to make computing better for humanity. libp2p is one of my favorite projects. It's mentioned in the middle, along with IPFS, Filecoin. They're cool, but libp2p is able to allow computers to talk to each other without using a centralized server. If you think about communicating through space, like spaceship to spaceship, and also while they're traveling, and also like communication to Mars or other planets, you really can't run this centralized client server model to have servers sitting in on Earth in US maybe, and then have all the information sort of transferred to Mars. It has to be an offline system, and then the two planets sync occasionally only when it is needed. So libp2p is able to help you build application that does that. It could be with libp2p, you can build IPFS, but you can also build a decentralized chat software. You can build a decentralized, maybe a phone call application, or decentralized anything with it. So yeah, there are many demos that you can use, and it's pretty cool to build a libp2p project for hackathon. So the missions together, the working group, ecosystem working group wants to encourage more people to adopt those technologies. So for Protocol Labs projects, we want more developers using that. For Filecoin, we want more enterprises to use it, more storage providers to join the business, and more startup successfully using these technologies to bring value to their project, but also secure funding, and then so they can have maybe a proven business model in someday. So right now we have 10,000 more developers across different projects of ours. They're contributing or helping with testing or users of these tools. We have 3,600 storage providers, so data centers around the world, to provide a backbone for the new internet. And we also have 500 startups in our ecosystem that are in various stages of funding. So some could be receiving our grants, some could be won a hackathon prize. Some could be in Series seed round or Series A to D series in being evaluated by really famous VCs in the world, and getting to the next step of their companies. So there are about 500 of them. Our goal as an ecosystem working group is to be the best in Web3. And how we measure that, one of the things that we measure is our startups in our ecosystem getting funding at the end. So I'm helping in some aspect of achieving that goal on my daily roles too. So Filecoin's economic design was mentioned in my last presentation. I won't repeat too many of the things, but one thing that I want to mention is that the Filecoin economic design had some game theories consideration. So one of the things that that is really unique is what is called a baseline minting. What that means is everyone's reward is tied to the network total network hash rate or power. We call them storage power. So if the total network storage power, so that's adding all of everyone's hard drive together, if there are more, then everyone gets more reward. If there are less, then everyone gets less reward. So everyone is incentivized to actually increase their hardware infrastructure over time. The more you increase, and if everyone does the same, everyone will get the reward. And then the rest of the minting follows the exponential decay reward, because we want to stop simple minting in the future. Also, this contributes to scarcity, deflates the economy, and then we want to encourage people to do other things. So, for example, actually buying more hardwares to provide storage and build applications on top of that to offer things like Web3 hard drives, cloud drives on to consumers or provide enterprise IT services to businesses. So so one of the things I want to mention is there's a heavy collateral required for joining a storage providing business, which is one of the reasons why I'm not doing storage provider businesses, because I don't have the upfront capital for it. There is also slashing for it. So it is actually costly to not manage your node professionally. If your sectors goes bad, so one hard drive goes down, you're literally getting punished for that by the network. Your coins will get burned. The collateral that you put in will be made inaccessible. So for this reason, most of the like a scalable storage provider businesses actually has staff to manage the cluster of computers, not 24/7, but you gotta at least attend to it at some time of the day. So it is a pretty serious business that people are running. Filecoin's token allocation is designed in our Filecoin Economy paper, but also in a Filecoin primer. And this was also on the SAFT agreement on CoinList as well. So all of the initial investors knows about this. The whole world knows about how Filecoin allocation is done. You can see that Filecoin Foundation receives about 5% of total Filecoin that will be ever created. Protocol Labs and teams will create about 1.15%. The initial investors will receive 10% of the coin allocation, and then the majority of them actually are allocated to service providing or storage providing. So storage providers are actually the biggest token holders of our economy because most of the rewards are given to them as the encouragement of contributing their hardware resources and their time. This storage is not the only market that Filecoin network intends to create. There is also a very big appetite in retrieving content very quickly, very reliably, and cheaply from anywhere in the world. So it's called a retrieval market or CDN market. It is a $20 billion market, according to some market researchers. And we want to use the mining reserve allocation to encourage build up of retrieval nodes or CDN nodes around the world in a decentralized fashion. And we want to do compute over data. When data is stored on Filecoin, it's very the customers will gravitate towards using Filecoin machines to compute and perform some duties on these data. If you would like to read more about these, a really good website to go to is Filecoin TLDR. They have abstract a lot of the thinking behind very lengthy YouTube videos, research papers, white papers, and blogs into very easy to understand articles and blogs and Twitter threads that you want to read. So if you're interested a little bit more on Filecoin's economy and our plans for the future, take a look at Filecoin TLDR. I really like the team behind it, behind this site. Filecoin is going through a phased economy. At first, we encourage a mass of hardware. And then stage 2, we want to introduce more services into the network. So actual clients will start to use and try the tools, and scalability and efficiency should improve. And then the last stage is the brand and products. So there should be less people joining because of the block rewards. There should be more people joining because there's a valid business model behind it to provide storage, retrieval or compute services on the network. And there will be a lot of people paying for there should be a lot of people paying for those services as well. So what that means to storage providers are, at the first stage, you could just get enough reward by bringing your hard drives online. It could be spinning with no data on it or just zeros and ones in it, not actual data. But over time, the reward for just contributing hardware will reduce. And then we have other programs to encourage people to to store actual data and do deals with customers, actual data clients. So we call, so Filecoin Plus is a program that encourages that. And we have a system to find clients and also encourage storage providers to take those client deals. Once they have taken those deals and we have verified the data is actual useful data from some company or from open data source, and then we store them, the storage provider will get a different kind of a block reward ratio from the network. It's called data caps or verified deals. And this is our way of encouraging people to go into different phases of the economy. So in the future, we'll have probably different programs for other things. I'll talk about some of them a little bit later, those data programs. So Filecoin's storage providing requires understanding of Filecoin economy. It requires quite extensive IT business skills, and we're attracting people who wants to build infrastructure. So the faint-hearted, hobbyist, you can run it, you can do it, but really this whole system is designed for people who are committed to the business and build real infrastructure. So they also need to purchase a lot of fuel as collateral. So there is a formula to calculate collaterals down there, but it equates to if you want 100 terabyte or a typibyte, it requires about 640 fuel for each. It depends on your storage size, essentially. So first step in becoming a storage provider is to create the miner equipment, and then you'll need to acquire some tokens, so purchase from exchange or borrow it from some lenders, and then start to commit your capacity to it. You need to reach a certain minimum miner size to be able to participate and receive rewards. So this is what I call a committed capacity mining, or the first phase of the economy. And then after a while, you will be taking deals from the network. And you can find your own clients as well, and then start to take deals. You get paid not only for providing a service to the client, but also you get block rewards from the block from Filecoin protocol for providing a good service. So by the way, the one thing to understand is actually client deals, the client's payment for actual service, that's on top of the block rewards that we give you. So actually, it's quite common for people to write zero fuel for the storage price to the storage provider. So naturally, our chain is not designed to actually capture the real value of storage deals. It's a bit hard to analyze that. Quite often the storage clients, like a business who wants to store maybe 100 terabyte of drive, they will make direct deals with the Filecoin storage provider and pay them either through Phil or through other channels. But then they will all publish their deals on blockchain because the clients requires the security of Filecoin blockchain to ensure that their files, that the storage provider is doing the right thing and keeping the files secure. And they also require so once it's on Filecoin chain and there's heavy collateral on the storage provider, they wouldn't do those things. So over time, the storage providers are expected to upgrade capacity and participate certain data programs. And when things have gone bad, when you have loss of data, storage providers are encouraged to recover these data. And there are some there are some data programs that are related to data recovery. We're really not good at storing data for a long time. A lot of web pages goes to for just after like 1 or 2 years. So recovery data is also a very important step in data persistency. Filecoin block rewards are given to the storage providers if they're doing the useful work. Useful work includes sealing, which is a Filecoin term of formatting partitions or storing files into what we call sectors. It's either 32 gigabyte or 62 gigabyte. It is artificial created units of storage within the hard drive for us to calculate everything. All the block rewards and stuff is calculated based on the sectors. And then one sector could contain part of the file or many files in one sector. And storage provider also gets paid by participating consensus, maintaining, participate the the blockchain production election, and then producing the next block. The miners receive block rewards in direct proportion to their quality adjusted power. So what that means is if you have a better quality sector, you're expected to get more rewards over time. Unlike the traditional proof of work blockchain that requires miners to perform computationally intensive or otherwise useless tasks to win block rewards, Filecoin miner can earn block reward by proving that they are providing reliable and useful storage to network clients. Anyone can contribute storage resources to the Filecoin network and start earning rewards right away. And then the message, the name of the message that is called that is what storage providers use to get rewards is called winning post. It's short for winning proof of space-time. This is a cryptographic challenge that storage provider will need to contribute to the we need to send to the network to be able to get that get the small chunk of reward for them. If you would like to find out more, there's this site called filefox.info Explorer. You can take a look at who's the biggest miner right now, and then who's getting most of the rewards in the network. The storage deal usually takes about 1 to 2 days to complete. Sometimes it happens faster, depending on how fast the storage provider reacts. And then the data sort of goes through a journey, right? So if it is a really large data, it must be sitting somewhere in a home or office or data center. Usually for verified data, we give data caps, so free storage for clients who wants to store. We want to encourage verified data. We want to encourage storage provider to also build up the resources they need to prepare for the incoming storage clients in the future. So we give data caps to them, to business who wants to try Filecoin storage. And these data will be extracted, encrypted, and chunked, aggregated into desired sector size, and then the transformation begins. So these data will be transformed into formats that IPFS and Filecoin likes. The deal gets made between storage provider, storage clients, and then the data transfer begins. Data transfer can happen online or offline, but happening online is very painful because the network connection bandwidth is still very slow across countries, especially. And unless you have dedicated line, you can't really transfer a large amount of data very quickly. So it's quite common for storage providers to actually receive a disk that's portable. So something like what you see on the top right-hand corner of my presentation. So Seagate has some solutions for moving a huge amount of data around, and it gets sent via post or sneakernet. So the data deal gets managed, and then the clients can keep track of all of the files and CIDs. And then the storage provider will need to ensure that these are stored. If they're destroyed, then they need to recover this in a timely manner to avoid being slashed. Where are these storage providers? These storage providers are largely in Asia. So we have an interactive map that someone has built that will give you a better idea of where these storage providers are. So this is a chart I don't want to show you. So this is made by Jimpack. I think this might take a while to load, but I'll go back to the presentation slide. So this is pulling data live from Filecoin network, and it's going to display a interactive zoomable sunburst chart for us to play with. But we can see that China mainland represents most of the quality adjusted power. Hong Kong and Singapore. We used to have about 90% storage power came from China, but since the policy change, it has encouraged the further decentralization of our network. So a lot of the mainland Chinese storage provider either migrated to Hong Kong, Singapore, or they just exited them, and then new people from other regions have joined. There is a large presence from North America and then some other countries as well. Australia has a share there. I'm glad to see that. So let me go back to this zoomable chart also. So this is a zoomable chart that we can see. It's a little bit big. And we can see that we can drill a little bit deeper into North America and see, so are they combined in the West? There's quite a bit in the West, 1 exabyte, and then ibibyte, and then in the South, there's a little bit, yeah. Maybe we can go a little bit further. Oh, right, look at that. We can go to Virginia, Kentucky, Texas. So yeah, have a look at this if you're interested in their geological positions. Yeah, take a look at that. I also want to show you the Filefox Explorer. So this is a block. This is one of the many block explorers out there, and this gives you the data, live data of how many miners are there, how many, what kind of block rewards you should be expecting from the network. This might be an average, and then what in general what people are doing. So data clients, I mentioned a little bit. We have over 1,500 unique clients, and more than, this number is outdated. I think we have more than 1 exabyte of data onboarded now. If you're interested in checking that, go to Filecoin Explorer and find out all of the clients that are using Filecoin. So providing storage is a hard business to get in, but we are trying to make it very easy. So there are different programs that are encouraging people to learn about storage providing, led by industry experts. These are people who have worked in IT industry or the business of running data centers for more than a decade. So DSPAR is one of the upcoming Asia program that is going to take place in Hong Kong in late June now. So stay tuned for that. So if you're located near Asia, feel free to join this DSPAR program and learn all the things about storage providing. ESPA Enterprise Storage Provider Accelerator is run by Picnic, one North American storage provider in partnership with Protocol Labs and Seagate, AMD, manufacturers of the hard drives. They are putting up a really big camp for onboarding storage providers in Vegas in October. So stay tuned for that. They have been running that for quite a few cohorts. And for everyone else, if you are not able to make to these real life events, you can feel free to go to sp.filecoin.io and learn everything about storage providing there. It acts as an all-in-one starting place for all SPs. Now for DSPA and ISPA, we have, I think for ISPA, we have published quite a few presentation recordings online, so you can watch those ones to find out exactly what they go through. We provide, so apart from presentations, we also provide, there are people that can help you to consult on your business. So from everything on how to start, how to operate a Lotus node, to how to do accounting of your storage providing to make sure you're profitable. These things are all getting, you're gonna get a lot of help from all these programs. So Filecoin's tools, if you want to run a storage providing business, you need to deal with one of the 3 storage provider softwares. So Lotus Node is our node software. It's built by Protocol Labs, and majority of the network operators uses Lotus. And then Venus is the one that's built by community. It's powered by IPFS Force. And it's a Go implementation of Filecoin node. We're also commissioning ChainSafe to build a complete Rust-based Filecoin node software. It's called Forest. It's still new in development, but it is catching up, and the experience of running it is really good. So I encourage you to take a look at all these node softwares. So I think we do have general price for this hackathon. So if you build something to these node softwares, that is also eligible. But for day-to-day operations, most of the storage providers will be running Lotus plus a software called Boost, which is a better monitoring and tool for interacting with Filecoin market. So it really reduces operational efforts. for running storage providing. There are many block explorers in our ecosystem. These are just 4 of them. I think there are more. So if we go to Filefox, we can see a lot of information. And Filefox also have explorers for testnets. So if we want to go to testnet and see some of the things and then check some of the transactions, you can go there to check. And they're building more systems, building more services like Filecoin naming services and all that in there. So that's pretty good. Another tool, really useful tool, is Filecoin Dashboard. So if you just want to have a really high level or insights of Filecoin economy, you can go to Starboard Filecoin Market Dashboard, which gives you a insight into the stats of Filecoin market. Starboard also has a FVM dashboard, so Filecoin Virtual Machine, to see how much money gets deposited into the smart contract, and then do a little bit deeper dig into the smart contracts themselves if you need to investigate. Also, Filecoin Plus, so the program that is encouraging useful data onboarding, they also have a dashboard on who's storing the largest data set and how much data cap they're getting and who stores them. And then the Filecoin Green project also has an energy dashboard, which exposes a extrapolated energy consumption of all Filecoin storage providers out there. They are building some frameworks and tools to integrate with all storage providers in the future to accurately predict their power consumption and see how much offset they can do and we can do on the network level to make this whole thing carbon neutral or carbon negative. So just setting off the economy doesn't always work. So there are some specific programs that are designed to encourage certain behaviors in the economy. So I mentioned Filecoin Plus earlier. Filecoin Plus is a program to improve the data quality of Filecoin network. So how they run is they have selected quite a few notaries around the world, and then the data notaries will inspect the company's data. Whoever submits application to them to store on Filecoin, they will inspect and verify if they're useful data. And then the client will receive data caps to store the valuable data they have. Filecoin Green is our sustainability project. In the future, there might be some kind of encouragement or incentive for providers to go green. Space Race was the first competition to bring open data set to Filecoin that gave Filecoin storage sort of data onboarding a first kick or kickoff. And then Slingshot was the one that renews the open data that was stored in Space Race. And Evergreen is a continuous running program to encourage storage provider to persist those data. And Moon Landing sort of is another program to encourage not only the storage side of things, but also data recovery of different data. There's also a big data exchange market, which is a market for people to trade verified data. So if you have a really valuable and large data set, you can go on big data exchange and show your case to the whole world or the storage provider community. And some storage provider community, because they are so efficient and well run, they're happy to purchase these to store these data. So when you think about that, that's kind of a negative priced storage for quality data. So really, there's a lot of appetite in storing verified data there. There is also SP reputation dashboard that is being built. Some of them are already out there. So this provides a general reputation system for storage providers, so you can you know who to trust more. So the whole thing is owned by the community, and Filecoin's governance is facilitated by Filecoin Foundation. It is community driven. It is done through what is called Filecoin improvement proposals. And one of the recent proposal that was really popular in the community was FIP 36, which has fine-tuned Filecoin's Economy. That didn't go through, but that was a perfect showcase of how Filecoin governance goes. There were field pool being provided, and there was a governance process that's being run, and everyone is transparent and about the process behind it. So take a look at that if you want to participate in the governance or build tools for governance. And lastly, you can all join our public Slack channel to chat to Filecoin people and ProGlabs people directly, me included. So feel free to chat to me if you have questions. I think we're at our time, and the next workshop is going to start very soon.
Yeah, maybe we'll wait another couple seconds to see if anyone has questions, but I think that was a very thorough workshop though. But
yeah. Cool.
Looks like nothing's popped up in the Zoom chat. So we can end things here. Sorry, Jenks, did you have anything else that you wanted to?
No. I was just preparing my screen share because I loaded some tools there to show to everyone. But if there's no questions, we can discuss this in Discord in the future. Yeah.
Yeah, for sure. Yeah. As Jenks said, everyone's available on Discord. This workshop is also recorded and on YouTube. So if you ever want to reference back, feel free to go to the Youth Global YouTube channel. There is a brainstorming and team formation workshop happening right now on Zoom. You can go to Discord to find the details for that. And with that being said, thanks so much, Jenks, for taking the last couple of hours out of, I know you're in a different time zone, for hosting these workshops. So thanks so much for your time, and thanks for the rest of you for joining.
Thank you. Thanks for having me, Anna. Bye.